Hello friends, neighbors, John, your neighbor here. Welcome down the Nook. Welcome to a pretty special recording of the show. I have to do it during the week because I've left it too long. Roy and Ralphie have put together the online Scotch Whisky Awards for a number of years. They're very kind to reach out to me and let me have a little bit of a say in maybe what bottles come forward. This is a very unique whiskey award program because it is designed to be about you, about the people. And so there are channels and there are clubs that provide thoughts on bottles. And now even as you vote on what bottles, what whiskeys, focused on Scotch, but they do international for sure, are the best this year, or the best right now, or the best what we're tasting. It's hard to know the criteria. But there are even places right now, if you go to vote on the online Scotch Whisky Awards, just search it up. You'll see that you can even put in, even right now, some bottles that you're thinking of. So I'm rocking some new tech here. Probably will be a bumpy ride, but I want to take you to the website, and then together we're just going to scroll through the top nominations from all those YouTube channels and from all those whiskey clubs and other people around the globe. No submissions, no corporations giving us money to talk to you about these whiskeys. 3, 4. If I'm doing this right, we should kick over onto a website. So what you're seeing now is, the 2024 nominations, a bunch of different categories. So if you pour something and join me, we're going to walk through this. So the first whiskey category is Best Value Whiskey. And I would say Admirkin, Benromic 10, Craigellachie 13, and then we've got, Glengarry 12, Kilkerran 12, and Leitchig 10. Oh, probably the category that I've had the most of. In fact, I've had all of these except the Admirkin AD over here in the corner. This is going to be a tough one. I would say the Benromic 10 pretty much, if not always on the shelf, often on the shelf. Craigellachie 13, going to come back to that. Glengarry 12, actually I love it, and it's a great value, 48%. Kilkerran 12, really tasty, a little bit funky, just a nice little bit of sherry in there. And Leitchig 10, recently I was pouring some of that with you guys, just an awesome peated Scotch. For me, given the prices here, well, it's interesting, these prices, because I'll tell you, we'll go back here to full camera. Of the value whiskeys, I actually have a Craigellachie 13. Okay, being a bit more open and honest, I just opened it so I could have it here on camera with you, and it's actually what's here in this glass. Craigellachie 13 in my market, they have it pegged at 54 pounds. It's worth it. I would pay that for Craigellachie because I really enjoy it. But this bottle, I'm not kidding. I bought this bottle at 54 Canadian dollars. So that's almost half the cost that's quoted here. So given it's half the cost, and given, that nice, dirty, kind of nutty, there is some sweet ex-bourbon in there. There is a little bit of vanilla, but it is also kind of funky. Honestly, kind of funky like, what else? The Kilkerran's got a little bit of that funk in there. It's not going to give you peat like the Cheg. It's not going to give you the sweetness of Glengarry. And Benromic's a tasty dram. Actually, I would say Benromic 10 has a little bit of that funk going on. But I think it's pretty obvious for me. I'm voting for a Craigellachie 13. Of course, you guys vote how you do. That's the point of these awards. Okay, moving on. Best blended whiskey. Okay. Compass Box Glasgow Blend. Had that many times. Hibiki Harmony Japanese also have had that. McLean Snows, it's all I ever hear about online, actually, is that bottle, I want to say. And then Thompson Brothers 6 Turntable Bittersweet, and Woven Super Blend. Wow. And this is Best Blended Whiskey. Okay, so this is a little bit tough because like I've only had a couple of these, and of those two, I might choose the Harmony. I would say I appreciate it a bit better, but you know, it's 75 pounds on the list here instead of 40 pounds. So you know me, I am a bargain hunter, which means like come on, if I could have bought it, that McLean's Nose, all I hear is fantastic, and at 32 pounds, without even trying it, trusting the palates of others, I'm tempted to vote for that. In terms of the others, haven't had any of those. So I am no help in this category. If I was voting, you know, I probably would go for that McLean's Nose, even though I've never even tasted it, which means I shouldn't. So I would put an NA in this category because I don't feel I have tasted enough to vote it in. That would be how I would do it. I would hope that would feel like some integrity. Okay, Best Blended Malt Whiskey. Well, Campbelltown Lock, if I've had it, it's only been a sample. Compass Box Orchard House had a couple of those. Lumreek only had the cask strength. So I haven't had the 12-year, just the 46%er. Old Perth cask strength, definitely had that. Thompson Brothers, nope. Thompson Brothers, nope. You'll get the theme. Where I am, can't get Thompson Brothers. This is a tough call for me. I've definitely had enough Old Perth and Compass Box and McNair's Lumreek, but the cask strength for me to feel like I could vote. I've had for sure 3, maybe I've had the lock sample, but not a bottle. But I've had bottles, these 3. That's enough for me to at least give an opinion, saying whether I like them or not. Blended malt here, boy, that sweet fruit of Orchard House. Just that nice, maybe a little heavy-handed wine sherry cask going on Lumreek, but boy, I like that cask strength. Old Perth is just solid. Man, it's just solid. Ooh, boy. Well, I'll tell you this. Look, if it was Lumreek cask strength on here, actually I'd vote for it. I really, really, truly enjoyed that one. Being the non-cask strength, and because I haven't had it at not cask strength, and it's never the same blending your own water, I feel like I've got to give a vote here from either Old Perth cask or Compass Box, and you know, I'm going to go Compass Box. I enjoy it. It's lively, it's fruity, it's almost like a delicious whiskey, and I can't think of a person I've shared that whiskey with who hasn't enjoyed it. So, you know, for best blend for me, my vote, Orchard House. But these Thompson Brothers might kill it. So if you know that, you better get in there and vote, because that one I'm voting on. Let's see, best non-malt. Okay, Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. I've had those. Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Barrel Proof. Definitely had that. Millstone 100 Rye. Love that rye. Like, I know where there's a couple of those kicking around. I better buy that. John Powers Lane. Okay, John Powers Lane. Look, you know, John Powers Lane 12. Like, so many people when I do an Irish will tell me I need to have this bottle. I have not had it because it is not available here. And it's very difficult for me to order from UK. It's just cost prohibitive, and I'm just too much of a bargain hunter to do that. So one day, but I haven't had that. Let's see. Redbreast 12 cask. Oh, an absolute favorite. And Wild Turkey. Okay, Wild Turkey. Well, you know, that's what's in this glass. In the appropriate glass. Look, when I'm nosing and tasting and comparing and critically, you bet I do Glencairns. And Scotch pretty much always ends up in a Glencairn. But when I'm drinking a bourbon, I keep looking at my microphone thinking that's the webcam. When I'm drinking a bourbon, I'm telling you, I'm drinking out of this. It's a smaller rocks glass. It's actually an ex-Nutella glass. It's not a full rocks. And the reason why when I pour it in a full rocks, it feels like because you got to pour just a little bit, right? Otherwise, you're drinking a lot of whiskey. I don't like that. But this, it just feels right in the hand. I'm not getting critically on the nose, but boy, that nice rye spice. I would say that sweet corn. Man, I am a fan of Wild Turkey. But should I vote Wild Turkey? Oh, this is what? Best non-malt whiskey. I've enjoyed Elijah Craig. Absolutely. I definitely have more Wild Turkey than Elijah Craig. Jack Daniel's single barrel proof. You know, I think I find it phenomenal compared to their regular stuff, but it's not my favorite Millstone Rye. I absolutely literally right now I'm like, you know what? I got to go buy another bottle of that. I really love it. It's a great rye. It's malted, which you'd think could be crazy, but it's actually really tasty. That price is ridiculous. If I pay $100 Canadian, I've paid too much. So 98 bucks, 98 pounds is just insane. Okay, might be going for a curveball here. Just with you thinking, thinking. Of course, he's going Wild Turkey. It's what he's drinking. I love Wild Turkey. But in this category, I actually am going to say Redbreast 12 cask strength. I absolutely love this. It remains probably in my top 5 whiskeys. And I've had a person asked me today, super kind, long-term viewer, supporter, how many drams have you had? Well, it's a few thousand. And I will say Redbreast 12 remains an absolute favorite. Man, I love Redbreast. Okay, best distillery. So in 2024, best distillery. This is going to be hard. So the first round, we've got Adamerican, Benromic, Glengyle, Glen Scotia, Kilchoman, and Loch Lomond. Boy, that's hard. I probably, right now I'm kind of really, I wish I'd had more Adamerican. Haven't had enough, can't do an opinion. Loch Lomond is killing it overseas. Tons of YouTubers that I follow really like Loch Lomond, and I'm like, okay, that's good. But it's not my favorite distillery. It just isn't. And so then we're left with Glen Scotia, Kilkerran, boy, and Kilchoman. You know what? I'm probably going to vote Kilchoman. And that's, you can blame or thank James, long supporter of the channel. James gave me a whole run of Kilchomans recently. And I have to say I love them all. And I may have finished them all, I think, James, and I appreciate that. So I'm probably going Kilchoman, but boy, I could have gone probably Glengyle and then Benromic would have been my order. If I'd had more Adamerican, maybe. Loch Lomond hasn't hit for me yet, but I know I have friends over the pond that will say, are you kidding me? So let's see. Best new distillery. Now again, here we go. Ardnahoe. Come on. Why can't I have that here? Hey, if a couple of my friends that are in Alberta that are now whiskey importers are listening to me, which you should do more often, you guys, get some Ardnahoe in. Be the retailer of that. You guys know how to put products on shelves. I need more Ardnahoe in my life. Glasgow, 1770. I've had a few of their drams, and I need to have more, but I haven't had enough. Rassay, I've had a few. Lag, I've had one, so that's just not enough. Lochlee, I've had their whole line more than once. I don't know why. Those guys that distribute it rep them, so they give me bottles. I buy some. They're on sale, and Torbig. For me, it's going to have to be, Lochlee. Yep. Of these, for me, Lochlee, I think a lot of people think they're a little bit young right now, and whereas probably everybody else in this list coming out with kind of almost more mature tasting whiskey given the age, I'm really liking Lochlee. Okay, best independent bottler. Adelphi, Cadenheads, Gordon, McPhail, SMWS, Scotch Malt Whisky Society, Thompson Brothers, and North Star Spirits. So I wish I could say Thompson Brothers, but I keep looking at the mic. But I can't because, Thompson Brothers just isn't here. So how could I give them the nod? North Star, I've had a lot of North Star. Not a lot. That sounds bad. But I've had a fair amount of North Stars. I've had a fair amount of Gordon MacPhail. I've had a couple of Caden Heads. No Thompson Brothers. Not entirely true. Andrew over EPP Butler has sent me some samples of Thompson Brothers. They've been good, but it's not enough for me to get a sense of it. And SMWS, I've had lots of samples. I have friends in the society that will pour me drams. I just don't want to pay for my drams and then pay for my drams. Adelphi, I haven't had enough. So I'm going to have to go with North Star. For me, out of this list, I've had more North Star. Well, Gordon MacPhail and North Star are probably neck and neck for numbers of bottles, but I pretty much love North Star. Okay, back on the, I don't know what I'm showing. Me, the website, doing a new tech setup here. Best World Whiskey. So here we've got Texas single malt, Balcones, I think we say, Cotswold, Indri 3-wood. Okay, interesting. And what else? Nika, Yoichi, and Wild Turkey again. Cheers, Wild Turkey. And Wireworks Bourbon Barrel. Haven't had Wireworks. Haven't had that version of Cotswold. Can't recall if I've had Yoichi. I've had a fair amount of Nika and a few different expressions, but I don't think I've had that one. So that really leaves kind of 3 on the table. Wild Turkey again. And then Balcones and Indri. Oh, and look at the cost difference. Like, oh man. Oh, I thought I had me on there on camera. Sorry, you guys. Just doing the web for you. That's tough for me. It is close. No. Yeah. Balcones is more expensive than Indri up here. These are very different whiskeys. And then, of course, Wild Turkey. I love Wild Turkey, as we're cheering it. But I would say I'm probably gonna go over to Texas. But if you haven't had it, you should try it. Like that is man, what a dark, beautiful, husky single malt. Like that is an absolute banger. I definitely recommend getting that. Indri is no slouch. I think it's one of the tastiest single malts. There are 3 casks going on in there, very flavorful, but critically, that Balcones for me is just better. It is just better. Okay, I think it's the last 9. I think it's the last category. So this is best Scotch, and I haven't had Adden American Cask Strength. I have had the Enoch 24. I haven't had this Ben Romick Cask Strength, although many people have said that I had a Ben Romick that was pretty close to a cask strength a while ago, and they said, it's really close, John. You got to get a bottle of this cask strength. So close. So maybe I've been in the house. Boone having 12 cask strength. I just want to say to any powers that be, it is unfair that I am unable to buy that in my market. So again, anyone who knows how to do that, please fix that. Kilkerran 16. I really enjoyed it. When I talked about Kilkerran 16, there were several people that had said that it really wasn't a favorite of theirs, that honestly they'd go from 12 to other Kilkerran releases, but I thoroughly enjoyed that. I did. The up front, maybe it was a bit off. Not off. Lemony. I'm trying to think. Boy, I don't have my notes in front of me. I should have. But that was a good release. And the Chegg 18. I haven't had that. So we're talking Kilkerran 16, Ben Romick Cask almost adjacent, and Enoch 24. Well, I happen to have Enoch 24 here. Thank you to Andrew. And this is a lovely dram. It's such a beautiful balance of some nice sherries in there, some nice older oaks. It's got some heart, some malt, and some good wood tannin background. better than like sometimes 24s, you know, they can run into over oak, but very rarely in Scotch, as they know what they're doing with the reused cask, the ex bourbons or the ex sherries. They know how to let whiskey just rest. Thank you, Andrew. This is certainly a fantastic dram. Being in the 16, I wish I hadn't finished that. Boy, I wish I had that at Cheg 18. This is tough. This is really tough. On voting in the best Scotch for the year, and the reason why it's tough, like I'll just tell you right now, the cast, the near cast strength Ben Romick that I had, that again James gave me because he's awesome. I think I would have gone for that. So I bet if I had it, I'd be picking the Ben Romick cast strength. So what do you guys think? What do I vote? Between the Enoch 24 and the Kilkerran 16, I think I prefer the Enoch 24. But is it fair? Like when I had at least 3 of the 6, I felt it was fair to, to vote. But here, like, what's the right thing to do? That's really tough. Value, I had them all except one. No problem voting on this Craigellachie. I just love the flavors in there. Just funky and diesel fuel and all that stuff. The Enoch 24, this is a beautiful dram. Beautiful dram. And yet it's still also got some core huskiness that I really like in Scotch. That Ben Romick was a banger, and that 16 was solid too. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to wrestle with my conscience as I decide whether I should vote or not. Look, you guys, this was a ton of fun. Make sure you go here, that you go and vote in the poll, right? This is for you. That's the point of this. It's not just judges. It's not just whiskeys that have been paid entries. In fact, none of them have been paid entries. You can take a look on the contributors. This is a who's who online for sure. Like if you're not watching these guys, you've got to. Like I try to watch every one of these contributors. I think they're just fantastic. No, seriously, amazing people here. But vote. You've got to vote. Place your votes because this is really supposed to be about you. So, a cheers to Ralphie and Roy for hosting this. I found this year, more than previous, that I've had less of the bottles that are up for voting on than normal. Usually there's about 6 in each category, and I've had 5. 4, 5, 4, that kind of thing. I can't believe how far behind I am in my whiskey journey. Thank you for joining me here tonight. I hope you've had a little bit of fun with me. Whether you go Craigellachie or an Enoch 24 or the classic Wild Turkey, I hope you're having fun, and I do hope you vote.